Hey, what's up, orchid friends? Chapter Tropical Plant Party. How's everybody doing? I hope you're good. I'm great. Today, I'm doing another mount. I'm gonna kind of try and breeze through this one a little bit faster than that last one. If you saw my last one, there were some issues with the driftwood. This time I'm using a different type. I don't know what it's called. It was just assorted driftwood at the pet store. And I liked this piece because it was the only one they had. And it's a bit hefty. I'll hang it from the tree. I'm not positive I'm gonna do that, but it has this nice flat base. I'm like, well, this might work just like this, but it's a little wobbly, maybe not that secure. It is flat on the other side too, so I could mount it like this. That's gonna take up a lot of table space. I came back to wanting to hang it again. But if I hang it, I would rather hang it like this, so it's like a drop coming down. Now, I could run this through the table saw and cut it in half, but I'm pretty sure this would just fall to pieces. I'm not going to do that. So after looking at it for a while, I kind of had to determine where I want to mount the orchid, where I want to drill my holes and whatnot. What I've decided is I'm going to put my hole up here, run my wire through there, the hanging wire that is, and then I'm going to mount the orchid right around here. Now, what orchid are we talking about? This guy. This is one of my little Motes Orchids that has just never really done great in the hanging baskets. I've talked before about how my Motes Orchids tend to kind of get lost amongst all my big giant ones. In this particular variety, this is the Christiansoniana crossed with Ampullacea. Yeah, really pretty Vanda. When it's getting its proper amount of light, it has more of a reddish hinge to it, and the flowers are really tiny and cute pink color. I think this would do much better mounted. One of my favorites of my Motes. I want to take good care of it, and it doesn't have much happening on it as far as roots go, but it's got some new root growth starting. I had it over there on my humidity table. That's the humidity table back there to try to encourage new root growth. It's working. I think the driftwood would work better. Oh, that's enough talking. I'm gonna go ahead and drill a hole through here to put the hanger in, and then if the wood allows me to, I'm going to try and drill some more holes through it to put anchoring wire in. I'm going to do that and I'll be right back. Okay, quick update. This wood, no easier to drill than the Mapani wood. You have got to be kidding me. What is the problem? Why can I not drill holes in driftwood? Okay, I'm gonna have to figure something else out, because what I went through with that last one, this one up here with that stuck drill bit, not doing it again. Using this piece of wood, I'm gonna figure something else out and finish this video later. I want this to be an enjoyable experience. Alright, I'm back. Sorry for losing my cool there. I managed to get the drill bit out and I got a second hole drilled. Took quite a while, but it's done. And here are those holes right there. So I'm just going to take my 9-gauge wire, pull it through there, and get the hanger ready. There we go. Wrap that around the back, bent it in, put a loop up top, so it'll hang like so. Can I do this with one hand? There we go, like that. Nice and sturdy. So now, just need to mount the orchid on it. Now, Vandas like to be watered frequently. However, they don't like to be sopping wet. They like to dry out between their waterings. Thinking I'll probably mount it right around here. I'm gonna take this tag off though and move it up to the hanger. I did manage to get one hole drilled in right here that comes through this opening. It's really not enough to work with, but I tried all these other spots and the wood's just full of knots. So not happening. Not running the risk of having the bit get jammed inside here again and breaking more drill bits. Just gonna have to figure out how to make that work. Gonna use this green floral wire here, snap it off, wrap it under there, and start to get this guy affixed. Real quick, real easy. Famous last words, right? Alright, so I ended up finding a little notch in the wood over here that I could run more wire through, or really the same wire, and that's nice and secure. I think this will work. I am thinking I might go ahead and pack a little bit of sphagnum moss down in that hole so that there's a source of higher moisture near the root zone where it's producing those roots to help attract it to make sure it sticks to the wood, because the humidity is kind of low for me right now. During the summer, different story. I think this would attach no time at all during the summer. Right now, it's a little bit more iffy. Alright, so I have some long fiber sphagnum moss in there, and I'm just gonna go ahead and add some water to it and give it a good soak. I want to make sure it's nice and wet before I ball it up and pack it in there, because I'm gonna pack it into that hole fairly tightly, so I'm just gonna give that a few minutes to soak. Alright, so now that that's had a few minutes to soak, I'm gonna pull it out, give it a little squeeze first. Don't think I'm going to need this much. I want to make sure it's at least together. And so you see that opening, there's a cavity down in there where I can put this moss, but it's not going to be in direct contact with the orchid. It's just going to kind of create a zone that's going to help retain the moisture in there a little bit longer, and therefore hopefully help attract the roots to grow out as well, without it being in direct contact with the orchid, and therefore hopefully not encouraging it to rot or anything like that. I don't want this sitting up against something that's soaking wet all the time. Just want something wet near it. Does that make sense? It'll find the moisture and it'll head towards it. There we go. Now, I'm not sure if this is making any sense, but I went ahead and I got that packed in, and it's in position so it's not actually in contact with the orchid. Now I'm gonna go ahead and give this guy its first soak, and it should be done. All right, there we go. Nice and soaked. I will say this wood is holding the moisture even better than that Mapani wood up there, which does hold the moisture fairly well. So that's very encouraging. I don't really have too many concerns with this. You know, anybody who's ever grown a Vanda in their trees near any branches, you know, these guys take root to wood very, very, very quickly. My main thing here is just going to be encouraging this orchid to grow new roots. That's the main priority, and I think that it should do just fine with that, like this. Looks fine to me. I know this piece of wood might seem like overkill, kind of large, and even though this is one of Motes' dwarf Vandas, they still get to be a decent size. I mean, not huge. This is not going to be a very big orchid, but this mount should do it for a fairly long time. I also really like that there are multiple other cavities on here. I have been contemplating with the idea of maybe putting some other teeny tiny terrarium type plants along this wood. Nothing that's going to overcrowd the orchid. Something that may make this look like it's its own little miniature hanging island or habitat. Possibly some type of dwarf bromeliad. Tillandsias probably not going to work. This is going to be watered far too often for them. Possibly even for most bromeliads. I'm going to have to definitely put more thought into that, into what I would mix in here with it. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know. And that's going to do it. This mount went much better than the last one, and I'm very, very, very happy about that. Like I said, if you have any suggestions for terrarium type teeny tiny little dwarf plants that could mix in here that require tons and tons of moisture, let me know. I'm going to go through and Google some things and toy out with some ideas. I have some ideas, but I really need to look up their sizes and things like that to be certain. But that's gonna do it. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. It helps the videos a ton. Subscribe as well. I upload multiple times a week. I'll put my social media down below in the description. You can follow me, I'll follow you back, and we can exchange pictures and have fun nerdy plant time together. I hope everybody's doing well. And as always, everybody, keep on growing. Bye-bye.